and salvation, both personal and collectively, as I vigorously interrogate the theological and symbolic meanings embedded in our society. I promise to leverage my knowledge of history, theology, and both international and domestic issues to imagine an inclusive vision for the future, which I hope will inspire all of us to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as a given, not just an aspiration. So join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley for 2 hours of the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show only on KBLA Talk 1580.
The blackness. Keep on. Never say die. Keep on. Blackness. Keep on. Never say die. Keep on. Blackness. Never say die. Never say die.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai, your host and White House correspondent, enjoying Los Angeles. Just a little bit of a breather from all the activity, shall we call it, in Washington, D.C. Whether I'm there or here, anywhere, I'm always in touch. And so you be in touch. Follow me on all the social media platforms at Dr. Nii-Quartelai. Just type in Dr. Nii-Q, DRNIIQ, and there I am, fresh for you to follow. Also, be sure to download the KBLA app to listen to us live or on demand, or just tell Alexa to play KBLA Talk 1580. You know what you can do on the app? You can use the on the mic feature. You can use the on the mic feature. And you can just send me a video note. An audio note. Maybe it's something I said. Maybe it's something one of our guests said. We want to hear from you. And so use that feature. All you got to do is click on the KBLA app, click on open mic, record, and press send. That's it. Also, last but not least, subscribe to A More Perfect Union podcast. That way you'll never miss an episode. Now, let me tell you something else that you don't want to miss. I want to invite you. This is a special invitation. So come close. Special invitation to the Black Book Bash. It's a literary family reunion. It's happening in Jacksonville, Florida, and you are invited. It is October 3rd through the 5th. At the Hyatt Regency Riverfront in Jacksonville. Lots of some of your favorite Black authors are going to be there. You heard one of them this morning on Tavis Smiley's show, Dr. Ian Smith. He'll be there. He's a regular on our show as well. You'll also see that folks like Claudia Jordan will be there. Dr. Michael Eric Dyson will be there. Kim Fields, yep, Trudy, she's going to be there. And so many more. The Black Book Bash, it isn't just a book festival. It's where Black storytelling, culture, and community link up like they've known each other forever. It's going to be quite the experience. If you've ever felt overlooked or underrepresented at the big name festivals, this is your place. I'm really looking forward to being there to talk about my best-selling book, Kamala, The Motherland and Me, which is still available. Go ahead and go to Mahogany Books and cop that. And while you're at it, consider coming to the Black Book Bash in Jacksonville, Florida in October. I would love to see you and would love to sign your copy of Kamala, The Motherland and Me. All right. Now it's time for your national news roundup. It's time for you to decide the good, bad, and ugly headlines of the day. And kicking us off, TikTok, they're laying off hundreds of content moderators and replacing them with, guess what? Artificial intelligence. TechSpot reports that it's a sad case of another day, another company laying off hundreds of people as their jobs become automated by AI. This time, the firm in question is TikTok, which is replacing human moderators in favor of artificial intelligence. And what is certainly a coincidence, that's what they say, the layoffs at the London site come just weeks before employees were due to vote on unionization. TikTok's layoffs will mostly impact members of the 2,500-person team based in the UK, though many in the South and Southeast Asia will also be affected. That's according to our friends over at the Wall Street Journal. The Communications Worker Union, they say that around 300 employees at London's Trust and Safety Department are expected to be affected by the cuts. Now, of all the departments, you're going to cut that many people from the Trust and Safety team? Okay, TikTok. All right, y'all be careful in those TikTok streets. All right. Moving along, NPR is reporting that Trump again calls for the FCC to revoke ABC and NBC's licenses. The national chief broadcast regulator is once more at the center of President Trump's culture war after the president launched a social media barrage on Sunday night against ABC and NBC. NPR is reporting that while the Federal Communications Commission has historically operated with a degree of independence from U.S. presidents, its new chairman, Brendan Carr, has muscularly followed Trump's lead. Carr has launched formal reviews of nearly all of the major broadcast networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, NPR, and PBS. He's also initiated investigations into diversity, equity, and inclusion actions of corporate parents of ABC and NBC, the Walt Disney Company, and Comcast, respectively. Now, I have said this before, I'll say this again. You can't give a bully what they want, because otherwise they're just going to keep bullying you. And a lot of these companies made the decision that they were going to settle these cases in the amount of about $16 million a pop. And guess what? They are back at square one. So even though they settled, they are still back in the same sunken place that they were at before. And the fact that these broadcast networks are splintering off and not coming together, I don't think that that's going to bode well in the long term for anybody involved but Trump and the FCC. And so we'll continue to keep our eye on that. But in other news, speaking of Trump, Melania Trump launches an AI contest for school children in grades K through 12. The Guardian is reporting that Melania Trump today invited students in grades K through 12 to participate in a government-sponsored nationwide contest that's designed to encourage them to work together to use artificial intelligence tools to solve community issues. Now, every student from kindergarten through the 12th grade is invited to, quote, unleash their imagination and showcase the spirit of American innovation. That's what Melania Trump said. Students who sign up will complete a project using an artificial intelligence method or tool to address a community challenge. Registration opens Tuesday, that's today, on the website. An adult mentor or teacher must sponsor them, and submissions are due by the end of December. Regional competitions will be this spring, followed by a White House event with the national winners. And so if you go on to the White House website, you can check out the Presidential AI Challenge. And if you're interested, you can participate in that. All right. Don't say I didn't say something nice. When we come forward, I got a lot of nice things to say about my next guest. He's no stranger to a more perfect union. He's no stranger to pop culture and Beauty in Black. Are you watching Beauty in Black? Because if you're not, hurry up and catch up, because the new season of Beauty in Black is coming. And I have a feeling it is going to be crazy. Crazy. If you remember the cliffhanger from last season, this next season can't help but be crazy. We're going to hear all about it when we come forward with actor Richard Lawson. You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
The long weekend sale is on at Target with exciting deals you won't want to miss. Stock up on grilling must-haves for a few more sunny barbecues. And while you're at it, ease into sweater weather with fresh new fits for the fam. Whether you're hosting, relaxing, or showing off your new style, Target has your deal in-store, online, and in the Target app. Hurry and save more with the long weekend sale happening now through Monday. Only at Target.
Fabrice.
Fabric Talk.
Hello, my love. I am your living room carpet. I see everything. I feel everything. After a while, I smell like everything, including Sir Pickles, who you snuggle with while binging that dating show you can't stop watching. So, how about we freshen things up with Fabrice Fabric Spray? Ooh, and a big spray for my pals, couch and ottoman. Ah, yes, refreshing. Breathe happy, Fabrice. La 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 la.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready to be a part of the conversation that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With work pork chops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
We have no permanent friends or permanent enemies. Only permanent interests. As we effort to build a more perfect union.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai. It's always fun having my friend Richard Lawson join us. If you all didn't know, you better mark your calendars because September 11th, Tyler Perry's smash hit, Beauty in Black, it returns only on Netflix. I have binged on this show. I was up till like 3 o'clock in the morning, multiple nights watching this show. If the cliffhanger that you left us with at the end of the last season is any indication, it's about to be crazy.
Crazy. It's crazy.
How you doing? How you doing, Richard?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm living it and loving it.
Well, we're going to get into Beauty in Black, but first things first, you've done so much over the course of your career, but one thing that I think folks may not know is that you served as a medic during the Vietnam War, earning a Purple Heart for wounds received in action. We are a more perfect union. We talk about all the things that people are doing to build a more perfect union. I want to give you a chance to just sort of share your reflections on what you're seeing, particularly in our nation's capital, the deployment of members of our military, of members of the National Guard. As somebody who has served this country, what are your thoughts on how the military is being deployed in this moment?
Well, this is something that I have seen coming, and when I had my foundation, Waco Theater, it's one of the things that I was really trying to be proactive and produce a film called Black Terror, which was meant to challenge Black people to think about revolution and think about what is revolution. Military revolution was really not an option because we're not set up for that. We're not organized for that. But the kind of revolution that was necessary then and more necessary now than ever was a political, social, financial revolution, in terms of coalescing our money and our ability, our power, so that we can control our own universe. And so what is going down is something that I saw coming. I used to talk all the time about, do you hear the train whistle coming down the track? Because it's getting ready to run through Black neighborhoods that we've never seen before. So what is happening is that the clock is being turned back, and we are effectively going back to the 1800s in terms of, putting people in their place, controlling people, creating a really kind of, almost a Marxist community or country or culture, because it's like it's eviscerating democracy as we know it. It's a whole other thing, man.
Yeah. It is.
It's affecting everything across the board. When Vegas starts to send people home and starts to empty its workforce, this country's in trouble.
Right. You're
meaning that discretionary income is drying up, so people don't have money to spend. And it's not just that's just an indicator. But I mean, man, my industry is tremendously affected.
Yeah.
You can't get a seat in a restaurant. You go to a restaurant and you have to wait, and you say, but there's a whole section over there that's empty. Yeah, well, we don't have manpower.
That's right.
It's the next 2 years is going to be a revelation.
A revelation, to say the least. I was just talking to a friend earlier today, and they were talking about how in New Jersey, energy prices are up like 30%. And it's not just New Jersey. There are other states in the country. And so I hear you loud and clear in terms of these next few years being a revelation. The question is, what are we going to do about it? But switching gears, let's talk about this show, Beauty in Black. It is the story of a family of upwardly mobile Black folks that are running a thriving business, so we think, but they don't like each other all that much, and so as much as you can, what can we look forward to in season 2 of Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black?
You're gonna look forward to greed and avarice and jealousy and power struggle and backbiting and betrayal on a whole nother level. You know what this is? This is a somehow or another Dynasty and Game of Thrones got together and had a baby called Beauty in Black. and from that, you see all the worst of Dynasty and all in Game of Thrones, nobody was safe. And this is what's true in this. I mean, please. My character, Norman, is the only man that's functioning out of love in the entire family. They killed his wife, and he had such love for his wife. Albeit she was a mail-order bride, he loved her from the bottom of his heart. And so his whole thing is acting out of a deep love for his wife. And his family was the one who did it. So this is, you got to put Shakespeare and August Wilson together and throw in a little Aaron Spelling in that, and then you have the world of Beauty in Black.
You really selling this thing? You really selling this thing? Hey,
what?
I said you really pouring the hot sauce on this. I mean, this is it's a fun show. It's a fun show. Part of what draws us in is it's a story of this well-to-do family, but if you scratch beneath the surface, they're dealing with a lot of the same stuff that a lot of our families are dealing with. Grudges and so and so did this years ago and now they got to pay, that kind of sort of thing. Talk to us about how you found those aspects of Norman's character that have become such an entry point for those of us that are watching. We watch you as Norman, and there are glimmers of people that may be familiar to us.
Well, listen, I've had the fortune, I guess, my career goes back to 1969. And so, the industry was really kind of like a horse and buggy industry at the time in relationship to the speed that it traveled and the technology available and the way the stories were written. And so through the 6 decades that I've been in the business, that I've seen the industry move light years. And in that process, in that time, I've been around, some some of the richest Black families in this country. I've been married to the Gordons, and I've been married to, you all know who I've been married to. But, in terms of seeing
For our
life,
audience that may be a little less familiar, Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom.
Beyonce and the Carters and stuff. And so you see the world, and you see a lot of the world on a lot of levels. And not so much them as much as it is all of the dynamics that come with people who have that kind of possession and that kind of power, that what it attracts and what you have to protect against, and what people's agendas are and what they want and what's happening, the subtext of what's going on, and the transactional relationships that are ensue because of it. It's like, I saw it all, and I saw it from a very high perch. And so Norman was a natural character for me to play because, because of just the world that I've been. I've been from the outhouse to the White House. And so literally, I grew up in the summertime, I grew up in Louisiana. And I mean, literally in the outhouse, which I was scared as a little boy to sit on those seats in the outhouse because I didn't want to get bit by a big spider or a snake to bite me in my ass while I was doing my duty. And then I've been to the White House. I have used the bathroom in the White House. So, I've been there a couple times. So I've been to Camp David. So it's like, I've seen everything in between, and I've seen and been a part of the dramas. And as a leading man in this business, and during, in those years where I was like the flavor of the month, that, that I have been open to the kind of, shall I say, that when somebody wants something, what they'll do to get it. And because I was, I was the leading man, and I was, like I said, that flavor. A lot of people.
Richard, this is too good. You're giving us too much flavor. When we come forward, we want more flavor. We're talking to actor Richard Lawson of Tyler Perry's Beauty and Black Season 2 on Netflix. Mark your calendars, September 11th. Run, don't walk to your remote control because
don't miss it. Whatever you do, don't miss it.
It's gonna be big. More with Richard Lawson when we come forward. You're listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
The audience is listening, thought-provoking, eye-opening, heart-rendering. This is where authentic voices meet powerful discussions on culture, community, and change. This is where Black voices matter. He's breaking boundaries, amplifying diverse perspectives, and tackling the issues that matter most to you. You're inside A More Perfect Union with Dr. Nii-Quartelai on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News Now. President Trump is covering several topics during a cabinet meeting at the White House. He recognized American workers when noting the upcoming Labor Day holiday.
Every policy of the Trump administration is designed to lift up the American worker, promote great paying blue collar jobs, and to rebuild the industrial bedrock of our nation.
He said the average worker has gotten a $500 wage increase since he took office. The pumpkin spice latte is back on the menu at Starbucks. The coffee giant calls the fall favorite its, quote, most popular seasonal beverage of all time, end quote. The PSL will be priced the same as it was last year. And an artist collaborated with Snoop Dogg for a collection called Ashes to Art, which uses unused or unfinished blunt wraps. The pieces cost between $10,000 and $70,000, and they have all sold out. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
It's a crash in Hollywood on the 101 southbound before Sunset Boulevard. It's out of lanes, but the drive is a mess away from Hollywood Boulevard. And we're also heading out to the northbound side of the 101 And we're seeing delays as well out of Hollywood from Melrose and stretches all the way to White Oak and Encino. It's tough in Burbank. Well, let's back up the 5. We're going to back it up all the way to Boyle Heights. 5 northbound leaving the 60, slow moving in stretches all the way to the 14 freeway. And the drive on the 210 eastbound in Pasadena loads up from Mountain, delays all the way to Citrus.
The Los Angeles Public Library offers free services for the whole family. With a library card, you can borrow movies and books for free. Visit lapl.org. That's lapl.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Tennis fans watching Venus Williams in the U.S. Open Monday night did not see her break down in tears during her press conference after losing to Karolina Muchova of Czechoslovakia. The 45-year-old Compton native got emotional while answering a question about her health. Venus was away from tennis for 16 months after undergoing surgery for uterine fibroids. Monday night's first-round loss to Muchova was Venus's 4th match since starting her comeback in June. Despite the tears, Venus gave no indication she's thinking about retiring. Venus actually played very well in her loss to Muchova. Just in case Venus decides not to play anymore, here's a recap of her legendary career. 7 Grand Slam titles, including 2 at the U.S. Open. 46 singles titles overall, the most of any active player. 4 Olympic gold medals, and she was ranked number 1 in the world for 11 weeks in 2002. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., inviting you to join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley here on KBLA Talk 1580. As a law school graduate and a theologian with a firm grasp of our body politic given almost 2 decades in Congress, my show is the fresh new home of an authentic, uncompromised quest for transformation and salvation, both personal and collectively, as I vigorously interrogate the theological and symbolic meanings embedded in our society. I promise to leverage my knowledge of history, theology, and both international and domestic issues to imagine an inclusive vision for the future, which I hope will inspire all of us to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as a given, not just an aspiration. So join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley for 2 hours of the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm LA City Councilmember Curran Price, inviting you to the 30th anniversary of the Central Avenue Jazz Festival, Saturday, September the 20th, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We've got 4 pavilions, 3 stages of live music, plus food, fun, and a marketplace all along historic Central Avenue between MLK Boulevard and Vernon Ave. Our featured acts this year are Gregory Porter, Pancho Sanchez, and Jasmine Horn at the 30th anniversary of the Central Avenue Jazz Festival, Saturday, September 20th, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. along Central Avenue between MLK Boulevard and Vernon Avenue. Come out and bring the whole family because this legendary celebration is free. For more information, go to centralavjazzfest.com. I'm LA Councilmember Curran Price, and I absolutely approve this message.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hit me! National News The Consequence. Informed opinion. And analysis beyond the headlines. You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I always enjoy being in conversation with my brother, Richard Lawson. He is one of the stars of Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black. which is back on Thursday, September 11th, only on Netflix. Norman, the character that Richard plays, is back in action. And, we can't say much, but we can say you need to tune in. It's going to be a big season for Beauty in Black.
Let me tell you something. You do not want to miss this. Really. Every page I turned, it was like, what? Oh no.
Do you still have that experience often? I mean, you've been in the game for a long time. For folks who are less familiar, you have a career spanning over 50 years. 50 years. You've played in Dirty Harry, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, Grey's Anatomy, Sugar Hill, movies like Poltergeist, and. Do you still get that excited feeling when you're turning the pages of projects you're working on?
I do, because I don't work on anything unless I love it. People say, what's your favorite show? What's your favorite character? They all are, because of the fact that I don't say yes unless it moves me, because of the fact that I do not want to look at something. The thing about what we do is that it's forever. So somebody's going to see you. Everybody that was in something in 1902, can still be seen. And so it's for perpetuity. And so therefore, I want to be able to look at something, or my children look at something, grandchildren, my mentees look at something, and they say, he played that part. And I did, because I love that part. I don't care how dark they are. Norman is diabolical. And so therefore, I'm playing a character that has a pathology. But I love playing this character because, like I say, he's driven by love. And he's a fool for love. And so therefore, and he's the only one in this clan that is. And so he's a fun character to play, because when he walks in, everybody has a healthy amount of fear for him, because they know he will blow some shit up. It's like
and has. Let me just say that you're also in the business of helping to blow up other actors' careers. A lot of people may not know this, but you teach acting. You've written a book, a best-selling book, but you're also an acting coach and a director with decades of experience at the Beverly Hills Playhouse. Talk to us.
Not there anymore.
What's that?
Not there. I haven't been there in 20 years almost. So
okay.
That's where I got my start, and that's where my mentor was.
That's where you got your start. And so talk to us about what you've been hearing from actors and other artists while you've been on tour promoting your book.
Well, the business has changed. The business, it's interesting, because back in the day, you tried to be a triple threat. You went to school and you learned how to sing and dance and act. You learned how to use your diaphragm. Because it's theater, we started in the theater, it was a one-on-one kind of thing. It's not that anymore. It's a visual industry, and it's you audition through self-tape, and you get jobs based upon your following and a lot of stuff. It's not always because you're the best for the part. It's like, people want leverage for their investment, so they will opt to hire someone who's going to bring more people to the table. So the business is altering, and so therefore I've always been. I teach an old school philosophy of teaching, still, with the sense of integrity and work ethic, but I teach it through a 21st century process. I'm very, very up on the latest. They call me the gadget guru, because I'm always dealing with gadgets. I was one of the first ones on Zoom. When I was doing Zoom, the owner was the technical guy to fix it. Now, 300 million people later, he's doing very well. So a lot of what I'm doing now is moving to, like, I started a channel, a Substack channel, Richard Lawson Studios.substack.com. And so I'm moving my mentorship from a local kind of thing to a global thing, so that people can come into my universe and I can help somebody in Ukraine or Australia or wherever. I can motivate. I'm a motivator. I'm a, you know, I like to look at myself as a dream whisperer. And so I want to help people to achieve their dreams. And so with technology, I'm able to do that on a global basis. And that's, you know, that means a lot to me, because ultimately my goal is to become the preeminent global source for empowering people to achieve their dreams. And I'm using all of my knowledge and all of my skill set as an actor. And I was an actor and a teacher at the same time. So that contiguous knowledge helped me to really understand the business from a very different perspective. And so I'm sharing that with, I just saw that. Sorry. No cursing, please. Forgive me.
All right. It's all right. It's all right. That's what we got the button for. That's what we got the button for.
Anyway, it's in terms of sharing that with the world. Because it's a different world. Everybody wants something really quick. People want an instant coffee. You know, they don't want to grind the coffee and drink espresso. They want Folgers out of the can, and that creates a whole different reality in terms of the way that people approach, the way people study. You know, it was an interesting thing, because we shot so fast with Tyler, you know, that you have to take all the knowledge that you have as an actor and be able to compress that to be able to deliver really, really quickly. Whereas, you know, if you shot a Steven Spielberg movie, you would be shooting 4 and 5 pages a day. With Tyler, we were shooting 100 pages a day.
100 pages a day?
100 pages a day.
Are you all shooting in order of the script, or are you shooting out of order?
Out of order. As a matter of fact, what happens is that if there's a lot of scenes in the hospital, as you saw, there's a lot of scenes at Horace's house. There was a lot of scenes in the various locations that you went to. Everything in those 16 episodes is shot like Horace's house. Everything in the 16 episodes is shot in Horace's house, back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Then we go to the next location, and all 16 episodes of everything that is in Mallory's house, back to back to back to back to back. So you will be shooting anything from any of those episodes in that house before you move to the next location. So
when people like Kerry Washington talk about how efficient Tyler Perry is in terms of you know, how he runs the set and filming schedule, and how efficiently you all sort of shoot from beginning to end, this is how it happens.
This is how it happens. And he has re-engineered the process, because most people start with a master and then they work into the close-up. Well, an experienced actor is going to blow it out in the master, because it's the first shot of the day, and people, if it's an emotional shot, and that's the scene you got to give to the scene, right? And you do that at 10 o'clock in the morning. And by the time you get to that master, there's closer master and a closer master, and then a wide 2 shot, a closer 2 shot, an over the shoulder, and over the shoulder, a tighter over, a dirty over, and a close up. By the time you just finish with one half of the scene, you've done maybe 25 or 30 takes. Now you do the other side, 25 or 30 takes. By the time you get to your close up, you dry as a bone unless you have experience, right? Tyler starts with the close-up. And so you let it go right now, and right there, and he captures it with 5 cameras. So he's got a camera on this actor, the 2-shot, the master, all of that tight master, and then he backs out to the wide shot, which he's only going to use the beginning and the end of the master shot, and the rest of it is going to be all in closer. So he's re-engineered the process, and in knowing that, you go in prepared. So that in my case, I rehearsed 1,500 hours over the course of the time I got the script to the last shot of the show. For me, when we wrapped, I put 1,500 hours into that, and with my assistant, I brought my assistant to Atlanta. When I got up in the morning, we rehearsed. Before breakfast, we rehearsed. On the way to the studio, rehearsed. In the dressing room, rehearsed. In the makeup chair, rehearsed. In the breaks, I would go to the gym, we rehearsed. On the set, we rehearsed. On the way home in the car, we rehearsed. At dinner, we rehearsed. So I'm rehearsing every opportunity because of the fact that it moves so fast. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that I know every line well enough that I don't even have to think about it anymore. And, one of the highest compliments he gave to me or about me, I wasn't standing there, but my assistant was, where Devon Franklin came to the set and he saw a scene with me and Debbie Morgan. And he said, "Brother, man, you're an icon, man. You were a legend. I didn't realize you was this good." And we did kill it. And so he went back to Video Village and he said to Tyler, he said, "Man, Richard Lawson is a monster." And Tyler said, "Yeah." And at 78, he knows every single word. That meant the world to me. Because you know how hard it is to know that many words and to know them all, and we're shooting 100 pages. So, that's the kind of work ethic I'm talking about that is required, but it's not the same because younger people don't have the same parameters. They don't have the same mentors that, have instilled in them that kind of work ethic.
Yeah. Yeah. Richard, in our remaining minutes, I want to ask you about Tyler Perry. I want you to ask us, tell us something about Tyler that maybe doesn't translate in the zeitgeist. Tell us something about the genius of Tyler Perry that we don't know. So
Tyler is a savant. If you go to his studio and you see the way that's laid out, there's 330, 40, 50 acres. There's not one blade of grass out of place. Everything is manicured. You go on the set and there's like 250, 300, I don't know the exact number of crew people, but I mean, it's huge, right? 85, 90% of those people are Black. When I came into the business, if you found 1 or 2, you were lucky. Now you find 1 or 2 or 3, 4 white people, it's like the reverse, right? He's very generous. All the actors that work for him say they've been paid, nobody else paid him like that. And then he comes back and he'll give you a bonus if you did a good job. He's a very kind and generous man. He doesn't give a shit about what, oh, sorry. He doesn't care at all about what people think of him. So therefore, maybe I should be British because that, So therefore, for your producers, I'll be very British. Therefore, they curse too. Anyway, every actor's worked for him has talked about the fact that he generously paid the actors. He has control over his kingdom. And he shoots back to back. We wrapped on a Wednesday at like 2:00. At 3:00, he was in a meeting on the next film that he was getting ready to shoot that started Monday. So he goes back to back to back to back to back because he has it very clear. He wrote all the scripts. So he's very clear about what he wants and how he's going to edit it. And so there's nobody like Tyler. People, may not, listen, his audience is loyal. Everything he touched on Amazon and Netflix turns #1. So he has something is working, and I have nothing but the maddest respect for him.
Well, we will be watching and supporting. Our thanks to Richard Lawson, one of the stars of Tyler Perry's smash hit Beauty in Black, returning to Netflix on Thursday, September 11th. It is always a good time in your company.
Thank you, sir, and well is with you.
Thank you, sir.
Love being on the show.
We love having you. Keep coming back. You're listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
Striving to make America a nation as good as its promise. This is A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Thinking about going electric? Now is the perfect time. Electric vehicles cost less to run, don't need gas, and need fewer repairs than gas-powered cars. You can also save with federal and state tax credits, and in some areas, qualify for rebates on home charging stations. To learn more, visit www.breathesocal.org. That's www.breathesocal.org.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Notable journalists, industry leaders, lawmakers, change makers, tastemakers, and you. Working to build a more perfect union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. Of course, our thanks to actor Richard Lawson for joining us here on A More Perfect Union. Again, be sure to go out and you don't even have to go out. Just log on to Netflix on September 11th and check out season 2 of Beauty in Black, Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black on Netflix. I watched season 1 and was up at like 3:00 in the morning, multiple nights, saying, okay, just one more episode, right? And so it is that good, and it is a nice reprieve from these very heavy headlines that we have to keep a line of sight on. You know, I know that a lot of people would much rather not hear about the craziness that's happening in Washington, D.C. and other parts of this country. But, you know, we got to do our part to stay informed. And it's okay to take a break from it. It's okay. But let's not lose a line of sight. Because when we lose a line of sight and we come back to it, then we're disoriented because there's just so much that is happening and moving all at the same time. I want to thank everyone that helps us to pull the show together each and every day. Our executive producer, Tavis Smiley, our sound engineer, Brother Andy, to our show producers, Faraji and Art and Journey, and to each and every one of you, all of our leaders, learners, and listeners. We curate this show with you in mind. You got to know that. We curate the show with you in mind every single day, and we'll continue to do so. But it's always a good day to remind you to do what you can from where you are with what you have, but by all means, do something. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai, and you've been listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
Assuring fans that he will be okay after his arrest in LA last week. Lil Nas X was hospitalized over suspicion of an overdose and arrested after officers found him walking naked. He pled not guilty to 4 felony charges and posted a $75,000 bail. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7.